All right. So today I'm going to talk about the latest projects that we had a paper I published with three of my students. The title is called "Stay Home with Me: How do YouTubers help with COVID-19 loneliness?" COVID is a big thing right now and kind of affect everybody's life. And one side effect of COVID is loneliness. I bet some of you might feel lonely at home because you kind of lose connection to your friends, your family, and we kind of address to those type of need and think about one special venue, not special, but a kind of one popular social media platform, YouTube, how they help to deal with help young people, especially kind of people like you guys, to deal with loneliness. So a little bit about myself. I think Professor Han already introduced me a bit. So I am assistant professor at Matthias, and my research interest in general is human-computer interaction and social computing as a part of the computer supported collaborative work. So I study video sharing platforms, and I want to understand the collaborative and community activities associated with those type of platforms. So I want to understand through various data analysis. I want to understand the affordances, roles, and technology designs of the video sharing platforms. Basically, how we want to use video share platforms to, have a oh, Kathy's here. Hey, Kathy. How we want to use video sharing platforms to help the general public to solve some social problems and give recommendations to the designers who are going to use going to make a better platform to support our society. In general, social computing is a simplified definition of that is it's just a study of social media. So when I show this picture, I guess I can't believe there's anyone cannot recognize either of them, right? So who use Facebook? Raise your hand, please. Do you know okay, 3, 4. Yeah, there's if you don't know how to raise a hand, there's there should be a kind of chat there. You can click the raise your hand. So I see 6 hands. How about for Facebook students, you can raise your hands. You keep your hands raised. How about Twitter? Anybody use Twitter? Twitter is becoming a big thing, right? It used to be the biggest thing that's kind of caused a lot of controversy, right? Flickr, Instagram. I know you guys love Instagrams, right? Who use Instagram? So now I see more and more hands on, right? So thank you, guys. So, those social media platforms are kind of playing a more and more important roles in everybody's life, right? We use them every day. We at least we pick 2 or 3 platforms to do a lot of things, right? So not just you guys. There's a Pew Research statistic shows that there's a growing number of people. Maybe I should use my laser tool here. There's a growing number of people are using social medias regularly. So this is the majority of the Americans, percentage of US adults who says they are using one of the social media platforms. You can see that Facebook is 68% of US adults are using Facebook regularly, and 73% are actually using YouTube every day. And Instagram is kind of the 3rd place, and Pinterest is the 3rd place. They are playing a growing importance in connecting people, and it's kind of already becomes a part of our social life. And the social computing is kind of originated in those social technical facts about how the technologies affect people. It's kind of an area to study the social behaviors and the relationship between the social behaviors and the computational system. So that's kind of, as a computer scientist, we build computing systems, right? Computational systems, but also at the same time, we want to understand the social behaviors that surrounds them and how computational system can better benefit the users. And it is based on the creating and recreating of social conventions and the social context through the use of software and technologies. No one can deny that the social media now not only serve as a communication tool, but it kind of formats how we think and how we stay connected with old friends. Before the social media exists, you probably have to call your friends or parents every week. At that time, with those type of technology, you definitely don't feel that connected with your friends or family, right? But with social media, you kind of see their Facebook post, see their regular regular tweets or something. People feel connected. Uh, and so, and there are a lot of social events. I believe everybody have at least heard of them, some of them from the news, right? Like Me Too is a social movement to anti-sex harassment, and the Black Lives Matters, right? It's a kind of anti-racist movement on social media. And more recently, everybody knows there's a Capitol riots in Washington D.C. and they try to use Twitter to track who the rioters are and who have ever entered the capitals, and the FBI can use the social media data to do the data mining and find the criminals and arrest them, right? And also there's a kind of some controversy things posted by the president, and Twitter decided to block his tweets. Some of them are kind of even now his account is even taken down. All of those social medias. Interactions or social media decisions from those big tech companies, they largely affect how our society is operating, right? And more recent, everybody heard about the Reddit frenzy, the bunch of Reddit stock buyers trying to fight all those hedge funds, and there's kind of like a stock battle between them. Without social media, without Reddit to connect all of those stock buyers, regular stock buyers, they won't have the power to fight against Wall Street, right? So all those things are kind of thanks to the power of social media, and they can actually make a lot of differences. And as a scientist, we are studying how those social media platforms have that type of power, and how we can better form the social media to make them benefits the public and use it in an ethical and a more responsive way, right? So this pictures I find from one of the highly cited paper in 2018. It's about general steps of social media study or social computing. So to study social media, you definitely need to get some of those data, right? The first step so social media research is do the social media. You first need to find a source of social media. So you either study some of the media sharing or macroblogging tool or social networking tool, right? And then you can run some of the crawlers, try to all those social. If you don't know that many of the social media platforms, they provide some open APIs that allows researchers or authenticated users to download your data. So that's called a data crawling, right? And when you crawl the data, you need some sort of storage place to store it, and then you apply some of the algorithms on it or data encoding methods to encode them based on what you want to learn, what you want to understand, right? And then you build the models and you do some predictions, and you learn how you basically summarize all those behaviors and learn from it, and know how the social media tools affect people, affect users, and affect the society as a whole. So my research is kind of falls in that line, and I'm particularly interested in mental health and public wellness on video sharing platforms. Video sharing is becoming a big thing nowadays. So I will briefly talk about that, but for now, so this is kind of what inspired us to do the study on the loneliness in the COVID-19 pandemic. So when we talk about loneliness, the first thing into most people's mind is, we're grandpas or senior citizens. They are more likely to feel lonely, right? But study actually shows that's not the fact. Actually, elder people actually reported less loneliness during the COVID-19. The reason is because they have during this period of time, the elderlies are they're more vulnerable to the virus, and actually they receive more help or more care from the public. So they're actually less they have less problem. Another interesting study shows the young adults actually are at more risk for the increased loneliness and depression during COVID-19. So believe it or not, people like you guys, young college students or high school students or even teenagers, they're actually the most vulnerable people because you're more social. The young generation are more social. They live in a social life. They want to stay connected to each other, but all the lockdowns or all the social distancing cause a lot of mental problems in people's in students' mental health. That's something the academia or the practitioners, they need to think about. So before I move on, how you guys deal with loneliness? Any thoughts?
I will volunteer some information. I see my child playing games a lot with her friend, and they talk while they play. I think that's their social life.
Play games and talk to peer gamers. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they play game, talk at the same time almost. Yeah.
Yeah. So, video games for me too. And I see, is that it's supposed to be FaceTime or fact? What is the fact time? FaceTime, right? I think FaceTime is nice. Yeah. So you FaceTime with each other, and anybody, when you have nobody to FaceTime to anybody, do you watch Facebook to see your friends posts? Right? Or scroll through social media, right? And so social video game, Snapchat, text, Discord, yeah, YouTube. Thank you, Jack. You mentioned about the thing I'm studying. So memes to each other, interesting, right? So you see that when you feel lonely, you definitely don't just lock your door, turn off your Wi-Fi, and just sit there and cry, right? You try to open your computer, open your phone, try to find someone to talk to, right? That's actually being a lot of studies shows that those type of behaviors, you try to connect through each other's actually are benefits for your mental health. It's help you to reduce loneliness. And video sharing platforms are actually very unique, right? Because first thing is, there's a little known about how the video sharing affects mental well-being. But YouTube, as one of the largest video sharing platforms, are actually is the most, or if not the only most popular social media nowadays. Like 85% of the teenagers reported they have used YouTube, and 32 use them regularly. So but think about those platforms, YouTube, TikTok, or Twitch. They're different from social media in general sense, right? So YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch are different from Facebook, right? For example, on Facebook, you try to friend each other, right? You follow the people who you already know, right? Or on Twitter, it's kind of the same thing, right? You follow the people who you know, or people who are kind of have some sort of social celebrities here. But for the YouTube or TikTok or Twitch, they are kind of the celebrities they made themselves by making content, by creating content. And also on YouTube, you don't people generally don't follow each other, right? You don't know that you don't friend your friends on YouTube or TikTok or Twitch, but you kind of go to somewhere else to look at those self-made celebrities video and get some interesting thing, right? Here are some examples. I'm not sure if you can at least recognize one or two of them, right? So this person is called Jacksepticeye, Mr. Beast, and the PewDiePie, and Ryan the Toy. So this young boy kind of make tens of millions of dollars each year by just doing the toy reviews. All those people they're getting famous on YouTube by doing some fancy or interesting things, right? But they're not the person that or they're not the real world celebrities, just like Justin Bieber or some other celebrities, right? So they are making their popularity. They're grassroots celebrities. We call it grassroots. Is they kind of, if you don't know them, you probably it's just someone live on your next door, right? And they post videos on a daily basis. If you notice that they regularly post videos, and also their channel usually have a theme, right? You kind of post it. You can expect it like they're gonna make something like Mr. BC usually do those giving out monies, right? So give you $10,000 to a random person, let them achieve their dreams. Those kind of prank like thing, right? And also they interact with the fans. They are trying to um, have some of the fan celebrity interactions, by leaving the comments or talk to each other or even come to their fans' home, right? They kind of just like someone living there next door. And research have called this type of relationship parasocial relationship. But I think parasocial is not a real social relationship, and it's kind of it's a one-sided intimacy. So you feel like you are closer to those celebrities, but actually they don't know you. That is what we call it. This concept is derived from traditional TV media. It's like the one-sided intimacy you generated by watching someone's video, but in fact, and when they show up in your life, you're like, hey, I know you, but actually the celebrity doesn't know you, right? It's kind of one side is fake, but so we call it social parasocial relationship. And in this study, I kind of curious, when people feel lonely, when people are, being isolated at home, can those type of fake or social how and can and how those type of parasocial relationship can complement the missing relationship during social distancing and help people reduce the loneliness. That's the general overall goal of the study. And we get a chance to study this topic because there's a YouTube movement called Stay Home With Me, hashtag Stay Home, hashtag With Me. This kind of this kind of movement was originally called by YouTube by they asked the creators to create a With Me content that will entertain, inform, and connect people who are social distancing during the pandemic. And they asked them to use the hashtag Stay Home With Me. So this movement was started, I think it was in early March 2020 when the national lockdown begins. So everybody needs to stay at home, and the YouTube says, hey, why don't all those content creators, all those creative people, why don't we just stand up and make some interesting things to entertain people, stay people connected, and that's one of the good things that the YouTubers trying to give to the society. And they definitely caught a lot of attention. So like this type of video have a growth of 600% of views since the social isolation. This is kind of a news dated back to the March 27th, 2020. So they definitely helped a lot of people. A lot of people definitely try to find those type of videos to watch, to kill some time, to stay to avoid loneliness, to shield from loneliness, and stay in a good mental well-being. So overall, our research question is, how does the video sharing platform help with COVID-19 loneliness? So to answer this question, we first need to know what is loneliness, right? Loneliness is not just a bad mood or bad emotional negativity. It's actually a lot of psychologists have studied the nature of loneliness, and one of the famous theory is Robert Will's lonely theory. He categorized loneliness as two types of loneliness. One is social loneliness, the other one is emotional loneliness. So social loneliness is when you feel bored, generally lack of a relationship from a friends, right? So when you're isolated from the friends, you feel bored, right? You don't have anything interesting to do. And then that causes you feel lonely. And the second type is emotional loneliness. It's like generally caused by you are separated from your family or close friend, you lack of intimacy, and then you probably feel lonely. And to avoid those types of loneliness, Wells finds 6 social provisions that needs to be satisfied so that people can stay away from loneliness. The first one is attachment. Attachment is a relationship people receive the sense of safety and security. And the second provision is social integration. It's a network of relationships in which individuals share interests, concerns, and recreational activities. Basically, you need someone to enjoy the same hobby as you to gain social integration and then stay to avoid those type of loneliness. Third one is real sense of worth. So you want somebody to acknowledge your skills and abilities, so that you will basically feel that your worth, your skills are valued. Reliable alliance is a relationship in which one can count on assistance under any circumstances. So this is kind of a I see there's a source of those relationships. So the reliable alliance is generally from your family. So I believe your parents might say, hey, no matter what you do, I support you, right? This is kind of reliable alliance. Guidance is a relationship with a trustworthy or authoritative individuals. So you can see Professor Han is kind of fulfill your guidance need, because she's a mentor-like mentor-like figure in your life, and she provides you guidance, right? And the last one is the opportunity for nurturance. Nurturance is a relationship in which the person feels responsible for the well-being of another. This also kind of generally obtained from a family member. So with those type of social provisions, was kind of basically defined what type of relationship one person needs to avoid loneliness, and that's kind of with those type of social provisions, you are if you don't lack any of them, so you are kind of in a good mental status, and you're gonna feel less lonely, or less likely to feel lonely, right? So based on those theories, we identify three research questions that we want to explore through our data analysis. First thing is, what stay-home with me videos did YouTubers make, and how they relate to COVID pandemic? So this is basically a what question, right? What videos are available, what they created, right? We want to know, if we want to know how they affect people, we first want to know what are they, right? Second one is, how did Stay Home With Me offer social provisions? So, when you have different type of videos, can the YouTubers, those celebrities, act some of the figures like your family, like your friend, or like your mentor, to help you deal with those, to satisfy those social provision needs and deal with loneliness? The third question is, how does the videos with different social provisions affect viewer? Basically affect your engagement with the video, and affect your mental well-being, or social connectedness. So we kind of go through the data analysis pipeline. We first crawl the YouTube data, and then we use grounded theory and the video analysis to encode them. And the third step, we do the data annotation. We use a cross-sourcing platform, and we ask the participant to read the videos, read different aspects of videos. And at the end, we perform statistical analysis of all those correlations and all those significance. So the first step is we crawl the data. Maybe some of you guys don't know the YouTube. When you watch YouTube, you open web browser, you type in youtube.com, and then you watch videos, right? But as a data science, they provide a API, or it's basically kind of an interface or program that you can call, and the YouTube is going to return a list of metadata, including the video title, the users who created, at what time, how many view it, how many likes it get, how many dislikes it gets, how many comments are there, and then what are the comments. So you can get those raw data by using the YouTube API. And then we crawled 23 videos between the March 11th and May 15th, and then we pick out all the non-English ones, because we don't have the ability to analyze non-English videos. And we took out the videos that is too short, or like 5 seconds or less. And we took out the videos that is, it's nobody views, like less than 100 views. We got to make sure that the videos have some viewers, so that it can impact people, right? And so there are 1488 left there. So and that's kind of forms or corpus of analysis. And then each video instance is going to contain some of the metadata. I've mentioned most of them. And by analyzing them, we want to know who created what videos, and how they provide social provisions, and how they affect the viewership. And the second step, we did a ground theory approach. So if you haven't heard about grounded theory analysis, it's basically an approach where you do some random sampling, and then you try to group those things and generate what kind of categories are there. And then we also find 300 for discriminant analysis, basically verify where categories actually can reflect the actual categories in the data. So after analyzing the 100 video samples, we identified 9 different categories of videos. The first one is artistic. So basically a video of music, arts, performance, animation, those type of creative arts, right? And second one is challenge. The challenges of video showing exciting or activities or participating in unique challenges. Third one is chatting. I bet some of you watch the live streams in Twitch or any live game streamings, right? So those kind of they chat with the viewers sort of like a face-to-face talking. And then we also have the game, or somebody shows a home life, and how-to videos is very common, right? So I bet you guys gonna learn some skills from YouTube because there are a lot of videos tell you how to do something, right? Even from daily activities like cooking things, or to learn a language, or learn the programming skills, whatever. Religious, there are several religious videos that are about showing prayers, because it's COVID. Some of the people with religious belief, they wanted to create videos to do like an online prayer or something. Review, some of them are commercials. They want to recommend you the products and services to others. And stories, there's a video basically sharing those interesting stories. I see somebody said memes, right? This kind of sharing memes is type of you want to share others interesting stories. So those are the 9 general categories and how we identify. Here's an example, right? Like there's somebody teaching you how to play true colors on piano, and the challenge is crazy girl is trying to pour. This is one of the TikTok challenge. They're trying to pour a glass of milk into her mouth while doing the whatever this kind of gesture is. And then there's somebody doing the live stream, and this is the game. This is the home life, like showing a scene of the YouTuber and their families having dinner together. And then this one shows you how to. This is one of the athletes how-to videos, how to cook lemon chicken and Easter prayers. And then this is like a product review of the face mask brands. And the last one is sharing interesting stories. Like this one is like try not to laugh or smile while watching a couple of battles. This is kind of the stories that happen in their life. They're trying to tell the story, interesting stories to the audience. After we got those 9 different type of videos from the 100 videos, we want to see how many. That we have 1,400 videos in total, right? We want to know the rest of the 1,300 videos. What categories they fall in, right? And we didn't do it ourselves. We asked we use Amazon Mechanical Turk. So if you don't know what is AmTurk, is basically a website where you can distribute a task, and whoever receives this task is gonna help you do a small task, and then collectively all those people together finish a bigger task, which is for data annotation, to get all the data annotated. And we recruited 728 participants from AmTurk, and we basically asked them to watch a video and answer a bunch of questions. The first question is definitely, what is they're asked to watch the video for at least 3 minutes. After they watch the video, we ask them, hey, what is the video category? Pick one. And then we also ask them, does the video provide one of the social provisions? So like, do you feel they provide the emotional security? Do you feel the YouTubers express some responsibilities, and that's kind of the reliable lines, right? And does the video creator give a step-by-step instruction, sort of provide a guidance? So each answers your corresponds to one social provisions that I previously introduced. The last question we care about, to what degree it mentions COVID-19, right? This hashtag is originated in COVID-19, so we want to know whether the COVID-19 pandemic affected your video creation. So we ask them, or crowd workers to basically tell us whether to what degree they think the COVID is mentioned in the video. And what's the time right now? You got some time. So, and to analyze the viewer engagement, basically how those different type of videos affect people's viewership, we identify 3 factors. First one is popularity. Popularity is the number of times the video being viewed, how many comments are there, and how many likes, right? And activity is the second factor. So we measure the likes and comments per 100 views. So it's basically, we try to eliminate the celebrity effect. Their celebrities definitely going to have more views, right? But we want to know how many people would like to click like or leave a comment when they watch the video, right? So we want, for 100 views, how many likes and the comments are there. And the third factor is loyalty. So we want to know, we analyze loyalty by analyzing comment emotions, like whether they're positive or negative in the emotions. So by analyzing them, we can tell whether providing different social provisions can affect their going to affect the popularity, activity, and comment emotions. So this is kind of the structure of the study. I kind of already explained that. The first research question is, what are the what videos are made for stay home with me? So basically, we do the style analysis, and we analyze video to COVID-19 mission. The second question is how videos provide social. So we want to know how does different video styles can affect the social provisions, and whether the COVID-19 affects social provisions. And with that, second step is doing a linear regression to understand how the social provisions can affect popularity, activity, and common emotions. But there's definitely one, research have shown that the subscriber count, basically, if you have a bigger community, if you have a bigger subscriber population, your videos can definitely be viewed more times, right? So we want to factor that into our linear regression model to see whether the social provision provide an extra layer of effects besides a subscriber account. So like if two people have a similar number of subscriber and one person provides this social provision and the other person doesn't, so we want to know whether providing those social provisions is going to lead to differences in popularity, activity, and the common emotions. So that's the overall structure of the study. So to answer the first question, what videos were made? So this is basically a distribution of different video categories. So it's not surprising that how-to videos definitely has most of the videos, right? There are a lot of YouTubers that create how-to videos to teach you skills, to teach you different things. Second type is artistic. So like they want to show art drawing or play music for you or make animations, so on and so forth. And what is unique is the home life. A lot of YouTubers choose to show their home life, and that is not common if you look at the big picture, right? There are not a lot of home life videos before, but this time there are a lot of people showing their home lives when they show what they do at home when they trying to social distance during the COVID, and they're also chatting and game videos a lot, and religious is the fewest. So this is the distribution of different videos in different video styles. And another interesting thing that we find is the COVID-19 is very rarely mentioned. So this is a distribution of COVID-19 mentioning. So if they don't mention COVID-19, we give it a score of 0. If they mention a lot, we give it a score of 3. So that you can see that most of the video, more than 600 of videos out of 1488 videos doesn't even mention COVID-19. And then only a small portion of the videos mention the COVID-19 a lot, right? So you can see this curve, this distribution is definitely screwed to the left. It means like most of the videos choose not to mention COVID-19, right? And the second research question is, how those videos provide social provisions, right? So we find social integrations from our cross-sourcing annotation. Social integration is the most common provisions provided by videos. So 898 videos provide social integrations, and the 630 videos provide guidance, 400 and 397 provide attachment and reassurance. So here is figures of the different social provisions versus different video styles. This basically, if you read this figure, it's like a 65.88% of artistic videos provide integration, and home life 49.77% of the home life videos were rated to provide attachment. So this is the result from our cross-sourcing analysis, and we further do the Fisher's exact task to find a significant correlation. And if you can see that the green triangles here means positive significant association, and the red ones is negative association, which means chatting have more videos than other categories provide alliance, and chatting have more videos than other video categories to provide attachment. But challenge has fewer videos than other categories, than other video styles to provide attachment. So this is basically all those significant correlations we find. And also for the COVID, the videos who mention COVID more are likely to provide alliance, attachment, and nurturance, but less guidance and integration. So that's kind of reflect the fact that most of the YouTubers, when they mentioned about COVID, they tended to tell you, "Oh, I'm on your alliance. I want you to stay safe." That's kind of attachment, right? And I want if you need anything or how can I help, just let me know in the comments. Those type of are the common things that the YouTubers say in their videos, but they don't tell you what to do. There are fewer videos mentioning COVID tells the guidance, and definitely COVID is not something that's related to interest, right? So this kind of reflects a general way that YouTubers trying to help the general public. The third research question is how the different social provisions, videos providing different social provisions is going to affect viewer engagement. The first result we find is regarding to popularity. So the videos providing family-like provisions, basically the videos which are rated to provide attachment, nurturance, and reassurance have more comments in their videos. And for the activities, the viewers of the videos which provide nurturance and alliance were more active in liking and commenting. So if for those videos, when the YouTubers say provide a nurturance alliance, when they say we want to help you, or they show some sort of closeness to the viewers, they are more likely to get a like, and their viewers are more likely to leave a comment. And the last thing is our emotional analysis. We realize that if the videos tended to mention COVID-19 or talk COVID-19 intensively in the videos, their comments are more negative. But the videos who show the home life, what they do at home, or of course the religious content, the comments in those videos are more positive. So summarize those findings, we kind of conclude that Stay Home With Me did not escalate pandemic attention because everybody already see the distribution. Most of it did not mention COVID. This is very different from other social media. So if you open Twitter, or if you open any Reddit, any other major social media, you're going to see a flood of COVID-19 information at that time, right? And that's kind of when other social medias are primarily used to disseminate COVID-19 stressfulness or COVID-19 related information. YouTube kind of, particularly those YouTube creators, they choose another way to support people. They don't tell you what is COVID, how emergency it is, or what do you need to do. They actually tend not to mention that much in their videos. So the YouTubers do not intensively mention it, but kind of trying to redirect your attention from those type of things and try to make you feel less stressed by the COVID-19 and provide you those social provisions to help you reduce loneliness. The second finding is our studies shows how the videos provide social provisions in a disaster, right? So we find like most of the videos tended to provide a friend-like provisions, so that we know that if you want to seek some type of friend-like relationship, you can definitely go to YouTube. And for the people who are, for practitioners or the mental health, practitioners, if your patients need some sort of friend-like provisions, you can recommend some of the YouTube videos to use that to meditate people's mental well-being. And also, but people can obtain mentor-like provisions from how-to videos. So because there's a strong correlation between the how-to videos and guidance, so that's we know that's when people trying to learn something or trying to find some guidance, a feeling of guidance, they seek to watch YouTube videos to understand to learn some knowledge during the social distancing, right? And family-like provisions like the nurturance or attachment or alliance, they can be obtained from the home videos or live chatting or religious videos. There's a significant association there, and we also recommend for in the future, if something similar happens, people need to be social distancing. So we recommend the YouTube platforms to encourage the YouTubers to provide more family-like social provisions, aka the attachment, alliance, or nurturance. For example, you can teach the YouTubers how to be more friendly, how to act like, how to express your attachment, intimacy to a viewer, so that they know how to they know how to provide those family social provisions and build a more tight relationship with their viewers. This conclusion is drawn because the videos which provide those type of attachment have higher viewer engagement, and also if you look at the distribution, they actually didn't take much part of those videos. Yeah, that's pretty much about the study. And at the end, I want to shout out to my students who worked with me, Ava Bartolome, Kan Mai, and Wing Ha. They are all CS students who worked with me for a year, and they contribute a lot to the projects, and they are co-authoring with me on our CSCI papers that we just that just being accepted. So some about the ongoing work we're doing. So currently we're doing some analysis on mining the ASMR videos. Basically, anybody heard about ASMR? Sort of, yeah. ASMR is sort of tingling sense that somebody doing the playing with the mic to generate those type of sensation, right? So we try to understand how the ASMR videos affect people's mental health, provided those excuse me, provided those type of intimacy to the viewers, or we call it digital intimacy. And also another project led by Kathy here. She's studying how the YouTubers help people deal with drug addictions. Drug is definitely a problem, right? But if you think about how YouTubers use a different way, other than the traditional media, like making a documentary or something, they might use their own stories to tell people how to avoid drugs or how to deal with addictions, right? So we want to understand the nature of those type of platforms and to help the public. This is kind of the two main projects I'm currently conducting with the students. So at the end, I want to sort of express some of my a little advertisement for myself. So if you're, I'm actually looking for students who want to do summer research with me. So if you're a first or second year students, or if you're interested in data science and social computing, you're welcome to contact me. So I have an email here. So if you want to, cross some the data, write some code to do some analysis, says fine. If you're not CS students, you're definitely welcome, because my study is interdisciplinary. Especially if you're familiar with psychology or sociology, we definitely want to know. We definitely want your expertise in those fields to do our data analysis. So even if you're not CMS majors, talk to me if you're interested. We can definitely see how we can collaborate.